Hello everyone, so here it is, the big equilibrium constant calculation, big marks in the exam. Pay careful attention and see how much of this you can understand. So here we've got a hypothetical reaction taking place. All of the molecules are in the gas phase. So it says that a reaction is started by placing 4 moles of A and 6 moles of B in a 2 decimeter container. And so the critical thing to understand is that that is before equilibrium. That's just at the beginning. So here we have it. We've got 4 moles. Now, moles doesn't mean specific molecules. When I say 1 mole, I actually mean 6.02 times 10 to the 23 particles. But I'm just using an example to illustrate how it works. So I'm pretending that each of these particles is 1 mole. So we started off with 4 moles of A, so there we can see we've got 4 green balls, and 6 moles of B, so we've got 6 red ones. Now what are those two things going to do? Well, they're going to react with each other. We can see that over here, and as they start reacting, they're going to form C. And in fact, I need to add an arrow going backwards over here because we have a reversible reaction. You can't have equilibrium if you don't have a reverse reaction. And so there I've added the 2 arrows. Okay, so if we allow these molecules to now come together, they're going to start reacting and they're going to start forming some particles of C. Eventually, the system will reach equilibrium. How would we know that? Well, in industry, they would connect little temperature sensors, pressure sensors, and things like that, and they would let the system do what it needs to do for a couple of hours, and once these type of indicators start staying constant, then they know that the system is now at equilibrium because there are no macroscopic changes taking place. Now it says, at equilibrium, there is still 3 moles of A left over. And so now going to equilibrium, there are 3 moles of A left over, so there's 3 green ones. But guys, you have to be careful. How did that 1 molecule of A get used up? Well, obviously it reacted with B. And if you look at this ratio now, we can see that for every 1 mole of A, you have to use 2 moles of B. And so 2 moles of B would have to have been used up when getting to equilibrium. And so at equilibrium, we've only got 3 moles of A left over and 4 moles of B. Why? Because 2 of the moles of B had to be used up to get to equilibrium. Now along the way we would have formed some of C. So the ratio for A to C is a 1-to-1 ratio. So how many moles of A did we use up? Now don't say 3. 3 is what we have left over. So how much actually reacted? 1 mole reacted. And so if 1 mole of A reacted, then 1 mole of C formed. And so at equilibrium, our system would look like that. Now we've also been told that this is a 2 decimeter container, so I can put 2 decimeters here, and it was also 2 decimeters over here. So now we can calculate the equilibrium constant, because remember Kc is equal to the product, which is the concentration of C, over A, because it's a reactant, multiplied by B to the power of 2, because B has a 2 in the front. Now remember, Kc is only at equilibrium. So you're not going to use this. That's what you initially started with. So let's have a look. At equilibrium, we have 1 mole of C. But now remember, to calculate concentration, you have to use C equals to N over V. And so the concentration of C would be equal to its number of moles, there's only 1, divided by the volume of the tank, which is 2. And so the concentration of C would be a half. The concentration of A would be 1, 2, 3 out of 2. And so that's just going to be 1.5. And then lastly, the concentration of B would be 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the volume, which is 2, and that gives me 2. So we can go fill these values in now. So the concentration of C is a half. The concentration of A is 1.5, and the concentration of B is 2, and then I should square that. You then type all of that in on the calculator, and that's going to give you 0.0833. So what does that tell us? Does it tell us that the products are dominating or the reactants? Well, remember, when Kc was equal to 1, then it means everything is perfectly balanced. You have the same, well, the concentration of your products is balanced by your reactants. When Kc is bigger than 1, then it means your products are dominating. Products are dominating. Sorry, I'm running out of space here. And then when Kc is smaller than 1, like it is here, that's a very small number, it means that the reactants are dominating. And we can sort of see that if you look in this chamber or this reaction, you've mostly got A's and B's, and you've only got one C. So the reactants are still dominating. Alright, now I'm going to show you a better way to do this. I was just drawing it out for you so you could see exactly what's happening. But in an exam, you're going to use a table, okay? Now that table is going to look like this. And so here it is, guys, the table. You guys are going to use this a lot. So it might be a little bit weird at first, but try see how much of it you can understand. So the way it works is the following. The first row says initial moles, so that's how many moles do we have before equilibrium, so at the beginning. So that you get from the question itself. We were given 4 moles of A and 6 moles of B. They don't mention anything about C, and so we assumed that that was 0. Then at equilibrium, they said that we had 3 moles of A, so I'll put a 3 over here. Now the next part is the most important. How do you get from 4 to 3? Well, you have to minus 1. Now it's extremely important that you understand where that minus 1 went. That is the minus 1 for A that was used up when going from the beginning to the equilibrium point. So we lost 1A while going from the initial to the equilibrium. So that A must have reacted with B. Now you look at the ratio over here, it says it's 1A for every 2B. So if we lost 1 mole of A, then we lost 2 moles of B. Then it says for every 1 mole of A, you will form 1 mole of C. So we'll say plus 1 over here. And then it's just basic math. So 6 minus 2 is 4. 0 plus 1 is 1. We then get the concentration. And remember that C is equal to N over V. So that's going to be 1.5 for this one, and then that gave us 2, and then this one is a half. Then we can do Kc, which is equal to the concentration of the products, which is C, divided by the concentration of the reactant, which is A, multiplied by B, squared. The reason there's a square is because there's 2 over there. Then you can go fill everything in, so the concentration of C is a half. Then the concentration of A is 1.5, and then the concentration of B is 2. Then you type all of that in on the calculator and you end up with 0.0833. So guys, that's the table. We're going to practice it quite a lot in the next few lessons. So if it still feels a bit weird for now, watch the video maybe another once or twice, but we are going to practice it in the upcoming videos. So thank you for watching.